All right, well, this may be a continuation of part two, or it might be a new one because now I'm going to start working on this again. So I thought I'd film some of the taking off of the clamps and getting everything working and see how it's going, and then we can go from there. I'll let you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent
I think you can see this all right from that angle, and hopefully you can hear me all right. I could put my microphone on, but I don't know how long I'm going to be working on this, so I don't know if it'll matter. All right, let's take a look and see. Seems like the glue in there has bonded really well. I don't want to pull off too much to see. But as you can see, it's nice and tight in the corners, which was the master plan. And so now all I got left to do is figure out what I want to do with these other edges, because I don't know if I want to glue that up in here also. Or what? So what I need to do now is it's not going to be very easy. Okay, yeah. So I'll be able to put some folds in there and some darts. I'll trim this to know exactly how big I want it. Like I said, I originally want this, at least one side, to flip all the way over and create kind of like a lid. Okay, so what I've decided, son is evil, was to trim it down a little bit so I can work on it better. And then I'll just make a lid that's not part of the flap. I'll just make a lid that sets down on there when I need it to keep it from evaporating and stuff. So I'm going to trim it off and see what happens. Hopefully you can see that pretty good. I'm just trimming off the excess, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Right. So I got those. So I got these kind of clamped to where, I don't know if you can see that. The pleat will be up here, and then I can cut and fold it. So this will be flat. And these are fine. So now all I got to do is get some more glue, which I have brought with me, and wrap them over. Seems like this glue is stuck pretty well. That's the corner glue, but I have urethane glue under here, as you saw. So now all I got to do is kind of pull it tight. Doesn't have to be super duper tight. As long as I can get my 2 pieces of metal in here to soak overnight. Okay, so I ran a bead of glue wherever that is. I will show you. All right, so I ran a bead of this glue that we stock at our store, and it's really a good urethane glue, and it holds down floor covering transitions really well compared to liquid nails and all of that. So ran a bead down both sides about maybe a ½ inch below the line. And then I folded it over and I clamped it. Unfortunately, this doesn't dry super duper fast. So I got to clamp it. It won't be as square and pretty as I thought I would like it to be, but then again, I don't really think it matters all that much. You know, it does right now while I'm building it, but in a year from now, I'll look at it and go, whatever, throw this shit in there. So that's what where I'm at on this phase. So let me show you here how I got it. All folded over, glued, clamped. I had this stuff here. I used this cove base that I need to paint, which had the right length. This side I decided to do a little different because I'm running out of clamps that aren't being used for something else. And then I got this. If you look inside there, you can see I did a lot of folding and cutting. So this being one piece all the way up will be also glued like this, and then the same down at that end. So I'm going to try to let you watch that process, and then I will be done. Okay. I'm going to do that with the microphone on also. So I've finished this project up, and I have the vinyl rolled in there and wrapped and glued on the inside and on these outer edges here. I just got to let it dry, and then I can build a lid for it that runs across there using some of the scrap I cut off. And maybe just a piece of, I don't know, something that's long enough to go all in one piece, 13, 14 foot, which I got a lot of shit, so I might have something that would work. And then I can do it in 2 pieces, like 7-foot lids, just drop them on there, which would probably be easier. And then fill it with vinegar and throw some metal in there. And then once it soaks overnight, we'll look at that. I'll show you how that's working out once we get to that phase. And then rinse it off really good, and then I'm going to hit it with just some primer so it doesn't start to rust again. And I don't know the difference between that paint that's called Steel It, that you can leave on there without grinding and just, you know, weld it right up to it. But it's quite expensive. It's probably 3 or 4 times more than regular primer. That's an etching primer. So, you know, I could just grind off the 4 or 5 places that I need to weld it. Or I could maybe get the Steel It or a version of that a little cheaper. I'm not sure what the fucking difference is really. I mean, I'm sure it's just a polyester paint, blah, blah, blah. But we'll see. I'll probably just end up priming it with an etching primer. That's really good. That way, if I don't get to my next frame for 5-6 months, I'm not worried about getting all rusted up. So that's where we're at on the vinegar bath for the removing mill scale. So I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Once I get these clamps off and everything and make the lid and set it up to where I want it, I'll give you guys a final look-see, and then you can all comment on what a hack I am. But talk to you all later. And don't forget to subscribe if you like any of this content. I know there's a lot of other videos out there with it and stuff, but you know, there's you know, they'll tell you, well, go buy a big, you know, crate or something at Walmart for $10 and dump the stuff in there. But see, these are long trailer frames. This thing here is 13 feet 6 inches long. The long pieces that are laying here on the floor, I don't think you can see it, is 12 foot, and that's how long the trailer will be from front to, you know, head to ass or whatever, because I want to be able to put a receiver on both ends, to where if you have a receiver on the ends, on the backside, and you need to maybe pull it or tow it or do something to get it out stuck or something, if you put a good receiver on there and you really start pulling on that thing, you'll bend your frame. Whereas with this, it just runs all the way through to the front, so you're not pulling your frame apart, and you're not warping or bending or distorting it in any way, shape, or form, because it's just straight. So I thought that was way more worthwhile. So anyway, that's the master plan, and I will show you the finished product, and we will start working on a frame. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. If you got a little value out of that video, or any of my videos, which I would find hard to believe because I ramble so much, click like, click share. It would be awesome. Help me get some subscribers up. I'm going to have a new channel here pretty soon on the TC Overland for the trailers I'm going to be building and stuff, and that'll have a lot of videos. So go check that out. I don't even think I have a video on there. In fact, I don't even know if I have a channel yet. But anyway, keep that going, and then anything for the DIY Prepper Guy, click like, share, subscribe, all that happy shit. That would mean the world to me. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.